Hello, my friends. Janet Nambi here, your burnout coach. Today, I'm going to be talking about getting really specific with your goals. Now, as a leader, I'm talking to the leaders here, or I'm talking to anyone in a position of leadership, whether you own your own company or you have people that report to you. Now, oftentimes we have these very genetic goals or generic goals that are required by leaders. Some of them might include, in fact, whenever businesses put together job descriptions for leaders, especially, communication skills will be right up there, interpersonal skills will be right at the top somewhere, and coaching and feedback will also be right at the top somewhere. And sometimes we look at these things and we think, I absolutely know how to do all this. And then review comes around, maybe it's a 360 review that comes around, and you find that people would want you, your followers would want you to connect a little bit more with them. So you want to set that as your goal, that I want to be able to connect better with my employees, with my clients, whoever it is. You want to connect with yourself better. And sometimes you want to be a better mentor. Sometimes I get companies that are calling me to help them with their middle management to become better mentors or better coaches, so they can motivate their people better to be able to get the results that they want. Now, whereas businesses have these goals set, and we will read them, we will agree with them that in order for me to be a good leader, a leader that stands out, I need to brush up, I need to be good at communicating, motivating, whatever. But those goals, you realize, are very generic. When it comes down to writing your very specific goals, 2023 is coming around and I want to connect better with my employees or my customers. How do you really do that? How do you even feel that connection? How do you get to that point when you're feeling that connection? You know, so what you want to do is recognize the behaviors that you want to change underneath that connection, the behaviors that are going to help you be able to connect better with your employees or your clients. Now, some of the behaviors might include, I don't know, you probably want to be able to give more reward and recognition. You want to be able to say a thank you. So when somebody does something impressive, or you want to be able to appreciate, whether privately or in a group around the table. Maybe you're having a discussion, you're leading a team meeting, and you want to be able to recognize a good suggestion from one of your team members. Those are some of the specific behaviors that you want to write down as perhaps your midterm goals or short-term goals. You might probably, in order for you to connect better with your employees, you probably want to stop playing favorites. That's a behavior that is so common among leaders who who will play favorite with those people who make it easy for them to be followed. People who pretty much kiss up. Or you probably want to, in order to connect better with your employees or your clients, you probably want to manage your temper. Maybe when you're angry, you're the type of person who lashes out, or throws things across the wall, or shouts from your closed room, and the whole company is going to know that, oh God, boss so and so is upset. And as you know, sometimes we want to own that anger. And by the way, some of these behaviors have carried on and actually have led you, or the lack thereof is what has led to your success, because the focus was on you, what you achieve, what you accomplish. The focus was you. That's what makes you a high achiever, and that's what makes you the successful person that you were. But if at all you're at that point, and in working with my burnout clients, I do recognize that a lot of them lose connection. They lose connection with their subordinates, or lose connection with their employees. Totally. Because it's drive, drive, drive. It's do, do, do. Do, do, do is very good. But you get to a point where do, do, do stops serving you. I mean, if you're on a round table full of excellent high achievers, the one that stands out, the one that's superb, is the one that has better interpersonal skills, the one that relates better with others, regardless of the characters that they're relating with. So one of the first things you want to do is separate your own individual goals from the company goals, or from the goals you've assumed that you need to have as a leader. Those goals can be very generic. Now, your own individual goals are the ones that you own, that mean something to you. Connecting with people will only mean something to you if you know the specific behaviors you want to change. And as I've said above, those behaviors, you want to write down those behaviors. What does it look like to connect with people? What does it feel like when I am connected with people? You want to write it. You could even write it as a story. Look at yourself 6 months from now. You've made a connection with more people than you ever have in your career. What does it look like to get there? Who is the person who is connecting better with people at that point? Who's motivating better? Who's coaching better? What behaviors are they engaging in? What behaviors did you engage in from now, month 1, until month 6 that got you there? Write it down in a story. When you understand that person who's better connected, understand how some of the questions you're going to ask yourself is, how do I want to, what do I want to see when I'm there? You know, you're connecting better with your employees and your or your clients, whoever. What do I want to see when I'm there? And by the way, these tips that I'm giving you can work for any goal that you want to set, not just about work. It could be your health goals, could be your fun goals, it could be money goals, whatever it is. So who's the person that you want to see 6 months from now? What do they see? How are they behaving at that point when they're connecting better with people? What do you want to hear yourself say? That's another question. What do you want to hear yourself say 6 months from now? What do you want to hear people say about you 6 months from now? Now, don't carry that as much weight, because your goal, what you're doing to get to that goal, you have to decide how much fulfillment it gives you. It's not about how people approve it, how everybody else approves it. You determine your own path and what works for you. So what do you want to see at that point in the future, 6 months from now? Question number 2, what do you want to hear yourself say 6 months from now? What do you want to hear other people say about you as the better connected person, as the person who motivates better? And remember, you've written down the behaviors you want to change, okay? And then one of the things that I always encourage people to do is understand how you want to feel when you've achieved that goal. If you don't understand how you want to feel at that point, it may be a little bit difficult for you to connect with the goal or to be motivated to try and achieve your goal. Putting feelings in it is always so important, because it's the heart that gives us that connection and nothing else. And remember, if the goal is to connect with people, it's going to require you to work a lot more with your heart than your mind. So think about that point 6 months from now. Draw the picture, paint a picture of who you are 6 months from now. How are you feeling when you're connecting more, or when you're mentoring better, or when you're coaching better? And then after you've written that story of that person who's achieved it, it's within that story that you find your short-term goals, your mid-term goals, and that will get you to that long-term goal. Now, sometimes the reason it's very difficult for us to determine short-term and mid-term goals is simply because we're not connected to the goal, or the goal doesn't mean anything to you. It's a goal that has been handed to you, and it is not personalized. You don't own it. You know, you're just taking a cut and paste job and says, you know what, my performance review said I need to do ABC. Okay, so it said that. What does it mean to you? So you want to write that story out. It's from that story that you're going to find those behaviors. It's from that story that you're going to determine the little changes that you want to take every day that's going to lead you to that goal. So my friend, if you're looking for meaning, fulfillment, you're looking for that peace of mind, you want to get out of burnout, or you want to enjoy your work a little bit more, these tips will help you set specific goals that are going to help you with the minor behavioral changes that you're going to make every day that will lead to significant behavior changes in the future, where you're going to find your fulfillment waiting for you. So whatever goals you're setting, whether it's community, whether it's fun, whether it's family, health, wealth, whatever it is, take these tips, apply them, and let me know how that works for you. Okay, so DM me, let me know what you think about these tips. If you have any additional ones, throw them down in the comments, and feel free to send me some questions. What else you want to hear? Let's start 2023 off strong. We make so many promises of ourselves. When 2023 comes around, I am going to do ABC. How about you take action today? Don't wait for December 31st to set that resolution. And you don't want to set a resolution you're not going to achieve anyways. How many resolutions? How many? Really ask yourself, how many resolutions have you achieved? Right? They sound great. We'll pin them up on vision boards and all. But sometimes we lack the motivation. We're not connected to them. All right, my friends, I will be back here with another video on how we can start off 2023 in high gear. Speak soon.